going to start the live streaming, students. Yeah. Right. I will show the PowerPoint. You can go that. Right, students. So all are ready? Actually, this is called soil temperature and moisturism. So every particular climatic conditions and soil will experience different temperature moisturism. And students, this soil moisture temperature regime plays a major role in soil classification, especially in soil classification. For example, if anybody are doing research in soils of particular area, say for example, I'm interested, or some of your people are interested doing research in suppose I want to do research in Delhi soils or Andhra soils or Telangana soils, whatever the soils want to see. So what you will see very first, we will visit the soils in the field, and we will dig the profile. We'll do survey, and we will collect the sample. At the same time, we will collect the data, moisture data, that climatic data, how much rainfall is there, what are the temperatures are there, and you will record the temperatures also. We will record by soil thermometer. We will record the different temperatures. Even if you are keen interested, you can go for layer by layer. If you dig the profile, you can go layer by layer and you can record. So based on all these conditions, what are the different factors, etc., we can compile all this data in one set of manner. Then we can conclude that particular characteristics of the soil. By knowing all these characteristics, say for example, especially in southern coastal Andhra, there are many sandy soils are there, or you can say some loamy soils, some red soils are there, etc. Just I'm giving an example. What you can, so you can use some particular crop can be grown there. You can give an advice. We can go for this crop, this crop. We can't grow tea crop in southern Andhra Pradesh. At the same time, you can't grow the some other crops like sorghum, all those things in Ooty, Kodaikanal. That is very difficult. So we should, that varies. So for the purpose of classification of the crop cultivations and for the perfect scientific study of particular soils, we are depending upon this soil moisture and temperature regimes. What are those? We will see one by one. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll see. Right, students, introduction. So very first, we want to see the introduction of any lecture. What is the introduction of this soil moisture regime and soil temperature regime? These are the two important attributes, students, that directly determined by the, what are the factors that directly determine climate and weather? Both have different meanings, students. If you are interested in meteorology, they will give proper definition about these two. Climate and weathering characteristics given a given area of the world. So particular area, this climate and weathering will determine the soil moisture and temperature conditions. Both the soil air determine this, even soil air also will determine by the soil climate, or what called the pseudoclimate. Pseudoclimate means it's not a climate, it's climate alike. It's not a real climate, it is a false climate. That particular area of the particular set of soil, we can see this soil moisturism and soil temperaturism by the influence by which is determined by the climate and weather conditions. This is a small part of introduction about the soil moisture and soil temperaturism. Now we will see, sir, what is soil moisturism? There's nothing but expression of changes in soil moisture. There's nothing but changes in soil moisture. Students, in heavy rain, sometimes recently we have experienced, especially in my area, southern coastal Andhra Pradesh, and even Hyderabad also, Hyderabad, Telangana, Hyderabad, a part of Chennai, a part of area, there are heavy rains are there sometimes. And all the complete soil was completely submerged. The moisture was very high. This will detail, so the soil will experience some sort of moisture at that time situation. At the same time, students, any in somewhere in summer season, or any particular where the monsoons was not came, you can say that same soil will completely dried up. At that time, moisturism will be different. So when the rainfall is there, we can see one type of moisturism. When there is no rainfall, you can see another type of rainfall. So this is what explaining in this session, students, in the second line. In the second, what is that? Shortly after heavy rain, the soil may be wet, saturated. About 48 hours after the rain, it may remain moisture. No, after when complete rain was came, after 2 days, after 48 hours, the soil may become moisture. And thereafter by dry. After when the moisture was completely reduced, we can see dry. There is hydroscopic, some sort of small moisture will be there. There is one type of machine. And if the rain does not fall, what will happen? The complete soil will become drought. There is no rain for months and years. What we can see, that soil become drought. Especially, students, sandy soils are more prone to drought, students. Sandy soils are highly, because Very poor structure. Sandy soil, sandy structure can't hold the water properly. That's why you can see drought condition sandy soils when compared with loamy and clay soils. Clay soils are hold, loamy and clay soils are hold moisture very well when compared with sandy soils. At the same time, students, the soil moisturism changes with the climatic conditions. Students, completely it changes from climate to climate. Soil moisture regime of southern coastal Andhra Pradesh is quite different. Soil moisture regime of north coastal Andhra is different. Rayalaseema is different. At the same time, southern Tamil Nadu is different, and you can see Nilagiri conditions are quite different. Soil moisturism at the same time, South India is different, North India is different. In that, even Northeast India also we have a different soil moisture regimes. That is completely different because it's completely climatic determinant factor. Soils in a humid climate receives more moisture. See, more humid conditions you can see more moisture constantly. So they are moisture always, so they are almost moisture almost entire year. The soil will be very moisture. Even this entire for this have a separate word. We will discuss all these things. Whereas coming to the arid zones, arid regions, especially this type of arid regions we can see in Rajasthan or some dry conditions we can see. There you can see there is very little or no rain for a period of years. So generally, what will happen? Those soils will become very dry. Now, based on these conditions, based on the saturation or it's a dry condition or somewhat hydrated conditions or complete dry conditions, we will have a different moisture conditions. What are those? If there is a highly water was completely present, complete saturated soil was complete saturated water means we have one type of soil moisturism. If the complete water was drained off and we have some sort of hydroscopic state is there that have one type of moisturism. And if the soil was completely dried off, nothing is there is no rains, nothing, it's complete arid conditions, so that type also that is called one type of soil moisturism. What are those terminologies, etc., etc., we will discuss now. So what are the soil moisture regimes? List out, students. Very first, we want to list out the what are the soil moisture regimes. Very first one, Aquic soil moisture regime. Remember Aquic. There is one famous water bottle company for this, Aquafina. Just remember like that. Okay. Aquic soil moisture regime. The name itself will say what is what is a moisture condition in that soil. And another one is called Udic soil moisture regime. Quite interesting. And another one is called acidic soil moisture regimes. I hope you can understand both these very well, opposite each other. Acidic soil moisture regime, and another one is called acidic soil moisture regime, and next is called xeric soil moisture regime. These are the important. These are the not only these are the important soil moisture regime. Students, personally, when I was writing JRF exam, even SRF exam also, I have experienced one question from this both in my career. In SR in JRF I got one question, in SRF also I got one question. So that much importance is there. Please be very careful. Aquatic soil moisture regime, acidic soil moisture regime, xeric soil moisture regime, acidic soil moisture regime, and acidic soil moisture regime. Just to remember. So soil moisture will be going on increasing. Just write note down in your notes like acidic, xeric, acidic, acidic, and aquatic. So when you go down and down, it will become very better and better. The moisture condition. This aquatic was complete saturation. We will see all those things. So you please note down like this. So these are the soil moisture regime. Okay, students. Aquatic. La aqua means in Latin word aqua, water. Okay. So in this you can see soil permanently saturated with water. Aquatic, completely saturated, students. There is no oxygen because it is completely saturation conditions. Therefore, aqua conditions are not suitable for upland crops. Upland crop means some where the crops are saturated. Upland because in the soils where there is complete moisture will be there. So, can we grow vegetables in the soil, students?
No, sir.
Why? Why, Rami? Please come because because you're a SRF student, you have some experience. JRF students, you answer why? Can we grow horticulture or vegetable crops like tomato, brinjal, all solanaceous crops? I think one student is from this thing, horticulture university. Why can we grow? This here the condition is like this, students. Completely saturation. There will be complete water will be there. Entire soil was completely saturated. There is no oxygen. And also I'm saying that these are not suitable for upland crops. They occur in almost this occur in all climatic zones, notable in swamps and inland valleys and other poorly drained environment where the drainage was very not properly managed. You can see this type of soil. This is called aquatic soil moisture. Is aquatic means completely saturated. Aqua means water. There's a very famous water bottle company called Aquafina. Just remember with that. Okay. Can you grow for some vegetables? Can anybody answer? Students, you will get this type of questions only. They will ask for applied questions. Don't think every question will be directly. ICR is become very strict nowadays. They're asking very tough questions. Be careful. Please answer. This is a very applied question. The condition is like this. The soil comes under the aquatic soil moisture regime. Can we grow vegetable crops? Options are like this. Yes, we can grow, no problem. Second one is no, it is very, very harmful. Three, sometimes we can grow, sometimes we not be grow. Four, none of the above. They may ask like this. Just I'm giving an example. Can anybody answer? Okay, I will say answer, you will say reason. Okay. No, we cannot grow the vegetable crops in this type of saturation water condition, aquatic soil moisture resin conditions. Why? What is the reason? Discuss. My God. Are you following my class?
Sir, reducer conditions, toxic substances are released.
Okay, okay. You are talking about chemistry. Okay, submerged conditions. This completely will be toxic conditions will be there. So we can't grow for why? Okay, that means if there is toxic conditions, why we are growing paddy in submerged conditions? That is one point is there now. You are saying that, sir, in submerged conditions, all the nutrients will be reduced. Sometimes there will be some toxic materials also will be there because there is lack of oxygen. Okay, that's why we can't grow vegetables. You're particularly saying this is one point is that a reduced condition, but we are growing paddy na in submerged conditions. Can you discuss? Come on, the questions will be like this, students. Those days were changed. Asking direct questions. What is the if the silica was washed out, iron oxides were left out in the soil. It is called dash lateralization. That type of questions were gone. They were expired. They are very old-fashioned ideas. Nowadays, everything we need a very applied manner. Can anybody answer why? Do you know what is the peculiar condition of horticulture crops? Students. Especially in Andhra Pradesh, most of the vegetables are grown in Chittoor and Kadapa. Kadapa can grow for banana, and Anantapuram we can grow some tomatoes. They are growing very well. Coming to in Tamil Nadu conditions, Madurai I think Madurai is famous for its flowers and vegetables. Theni I think Theni even Madurai also we can expect some vegetables. So why? Okay, anyone can answer. Ramya, you can answer if you know means.
சார் லேக் ஆஃப் ஆக்சிஜன் சார். ரூட்டிங் சிஸ்டம் வந்து வேற மாதிரி இருக்கும் சார். வெஜிடபிள்ஸ் வந்து சேச்சுரேட் வாட்டர் இருக்கும்போது ரூட் ரெஸ்பைர் பண்ண முடியாதுங்க.
Okay. Actually, what she is saying means the vegetable crops, the complete saturation is there. There is no oxygen. So when we put a crop, when the vegetables were grown, there is no oxygen. That's why the plant cannot be grown. This one point is there, but overall, students, horticulture crops in submerged conditions cannot be grown. Most of the horticulture crops, you see, whether it's vegetables, most of the are in plantation crops also. In submerged conditions, you can't export any crop because the submerged conditions will be there. Root system was not properly grown, but paddy can be survivable. Why? Paddy can survive in submerged conditions. What is the reason? Okay, come on, discussion. You need a lot of discussions. This is the questions. This is the class should be like this. What is the reason why paddy can grow? Because the answer is right. What she said right. Vegetables cannot be grown in saturation condition. Why? Because the root system is like that. There will be oxygen was completely seized off. There is no oxygen. That way, vegetables cannot be grown in aqueous soil moisture regime. But paddy can be grown in submerged conditions. What is the reason? Can anybody say? Paddy can
Presence
be
of
grown.
parenchyma.
What ma?
Presence of parenchyma.
Yeah, there is. There is. Yeah, there is some. Actually, there is special mechanism in paddy. The respiration, the oxygen will flow from the sacs that there is a particular system will be there. That in physiology we will read all these things. From that it will go. The oxygen will respire. That's why paddy can grow in submerged condition. Even paddy can grow in somewhat semi-arid drought conditions also can be grown. So students, please try to apply your knowledge. Don't, don't mug up. Those days were gone. Everything was changed nowadays. So anyhow, oh, we have we are side we are going to somewhere with the class. Anyhow, this is regarding the aquic soil moisturization. Aquic means completely saturated. Okay, students, this is regarding the aquic soil conditions. And coming to the udic students, udic means humid conditions. Mostly in humid conditions we can see mostly in udic also. You will remain not dry in moisture control conditions up to even 90, up to cumulative 90 days, up to for 10 days, 6 days. It will be in moisture condition only. It will have some sort of moisture will be there. There in udic, that is the paka opposite. The previous slide is paka opposite. There you can complete submersion, but you can see some sort of moisture condition is there. So that is why here we can grow some forest crops, some woody crops. Even we can grow for double cropping areas. If this condition is prevailing, we can grow for double crops. We can grow two crops for a season. Most this type of we can see in valley conditions. We can see. I mean, some riverside all you can see. They occur rainfall in summer. Mostly we can get summer also. Plus store the soil moisture equals or excess the evapotranspiration. Okay, so mostly in summer also they will get some sort of rainfall. Store moisture equals, or sometimes it will show the soils will store moisture equal to evapotranspiration, or sometimes even exceeds the evapotranspiration also. So that's the conditions. If the condition is like that, if the rainfall exceeds the evapotranspiration, even months of year, there is a heavy rainfall than the evapotranspiration. So that soil moisture condition is called pre-udic conditions. This is the condition, students. Udic means it's somewhat moisture. You can see this is a moisture control section. Up to 90 days it will be. So mostly we can grow for forest crops. We can grow some sort of double cropping. We can go for two cropping a season. We can grow if the condition, if the rainfall exists, the evapotranspiration every month is, if it was repeating more rainfall than evapotranspiration. So that condition is called the pre-udic conditions. Okay, students, remember this. This is called the udic soil moisture regime. This is regarding this. And coming to the aeridic conditions, there is no need to explain it because the name itself is explaining. Aridus means dry, also torrid, hot and dry. Aridus means torrid. So here you can see, students, is completely dry in the all parts. Almost it is completely dry in the all parts in growing season. It is not moisture. So mostly in some parts, so 90 consecutive days, it will be completely dry conditions. So in this type of arid soil moisturization, we can expect only complete dry conditions. So in this type of situation, we cannot grow crops. So without irrigation, you can't expect any cropping. So the soil in arid climatic having arid moisture conditions. So definitely, students, please remember, students, sometimes the question will be very tricky. You should be very confident in your answer. You see, arid means dry conditions. Arid is also, they will compile all these things. Sometimes they will compile if the condition is like this. If there is no rainfall from years together, and crops cannot be grown without any proper irrigation, there is no more moisture. What kind of soil moisturization will prevail? So the questions may be like this. It will be very applied questions. That is called the aeridic soil moisturization. It should go like this. Okay, students, be confident and be applied manner. Coming to is called strict moisturization. So burn or implying dryness. No, implying dryness means it is somewhat characteristics between the aeridic and udic, students. It will be very intermediate. It will be intermediate between aeridic and udic. So what is the soil moisture was somewhat limiting some part of here. It will be very limited. Moisture is available plant growing season for good. We can grow some sort of cropping, grow for season for a good plant, at least for one crop a season. So here the moisture conditions are somewhat like this. So mostly this is what's true. This type of soil moisture is prevalent in the southern coastal Andhra, especially in Prakasam district. You can see this type of situation. This type of crops are, this type of conditions are prevalent. We can grow for one crop, one season we can grow. Mostly what type of crops we can grow in this type of very light moisture condition, this type of stick moisture situation? We can grow sorghum, millets may grow, as I said previously. And maize requires some irrigation. If you want to grow maize, means we can grow. If there is any irrigation supply is there, means we can grow for maize. And water supplies and leaching is very rare, students, because the moisture content is very lightly available. And where is the chance for leaching? So soils of this North savanna is, we can see this type of rustic soil moisturizer. So the moisture is very limited. Moisture will be there, students, and the dryness also will be there, but moisture was very less. But we can grow one crop. We can grow one crop in this type of stick soil moisturization. What kind of crops we can grow? We can grow sorghum, millets may grow. Okay, students. Students, remember the concept and idea that is very important. This is regarding the stick soil moisturization. And finally, xeric moisturization. Xeric, completed dry. This is also dry. The soils with xeric moisturization are mostly we can see in Mediterranean regions, where the winters, especially December, January, February, you just see this climatic conditions and say where it is suitable. And cool moisture conditions like June, July, August, monsoons. This is, I think this is this months we can get the southwest, and here we can get the northeast monsoons. Mostly Andhra Pradesh was influenced by this, but most of the Tamil Nadu was influenced by the northeast monsoons, if I am correct. So sufficient water, mostly we can see we can get some sufficient water occurs in winter season we can get, and that leads to leaching of soil taking place, because in winter you can expect some moisture. What will happen? You can get some leaching also will take. However, moisture deficit occurs in summer. So what is the condition? Mediterranean means water. Whenever the water is available, there will be plenty of water. It leads to the moisture washout. But in summer, completely drought conditions. This is the condition in xeric conditions. And if I want to say in some informal language, in Telugu there is a one word, Ativrushti Anavrushti. It means Ativrushti means we get enough rains, which is now enough. More water will come. Anavrushti that means no, there is no water, complete dry. So situations will be like this. There will be sometimes it will be more rains, sometimes it will be very less rains. So here also situations like this, xeric soil moisture conditions. Mostly there are two people, fourth and a snap for concept of eridic and xeric and a stick. Anudic soil moisture is one of the different infrequently with summer maximum rainfall. So mostly this type of soil moisture regimes we can see only depend upon the climatic and soil moisture, rainfall, etc. Based on these two, summer and rainfall, will decide this type of conditions. So xeric moisture conditions mostly. Do you have any idea regarding in your area? Can you give any example for this type of xeric moisture situation? Any area in your particular state? Okay, no answer as usual. Anyway, so this is regarding the soil moisture regime. Okay, students. So what is the important, students? Why we are reading the soil moisture regime? It is mainly determine the supply of water to the plants. Very first, it determines the irrigation part, supply of water, and it causes the leaching of soils. Especially that even we will deal with that one also. So it is the future in the soil classification, as I said in very earlier, soil classification, and it also affects the genesis, which we have discussed in the very first lecture. It determined by the air water property of the soil, hence oxygen availability of the plant. Mostly oxygen conditions, especially Aquic, what we have discussed so far, that oxygen supply also it will determine. So this is a major importance for the soil moisturism we have to discuss. Okay, students, this is up to the soil moisturism. If you have any doubts in soil moisturism, you can discuss. Any doubts, students? If there is no doubts, we'll go for temperature regime. Any doubts in soil moisturism?
No, sir.
Naturally, no doubts. Thank you. Anyway, we will see the next. This is the key point, students. This almost whatever I explained in the previous slides, I given in one line. It's a one line word. You can see this whenever you're watching YouTube repeated this class. Just pause it and read these lines. Okay, the same thing which I have repeated. This was put it in a single line, just for your understanding. Okay, students. Into the soil moisture regime, soil temperature regime. So, students, mostly this temperature was completely different. This temperature is nothing but we will see the difference in summer and winter temperatures less than 50 degrees Celsius, and we will calculate the how much heat was received, or radiation was received from the sun. It is measured mostly Fahrenheit or Celsius. Mostly in India we go for a Celsius. Fahrenheit go for most in states. United States they will go for Fahrenheit. We Indians will calculate only in Celsius. So temperatures mostly soil temperatures completely determine the air temperature, and also moisture changes. If there is any moisture changes, generally we can expect some temperature changes. And also even this temperature is completely determined by the day conditions. However, these changes may experience from hour to hour. There will be a change, or sometimes we can see some days cycle also, daily cycle also we can see some changes. So mostly the temperature the cycle, mostly the surface changes mostly decrease as the soil depth is scarcely measured. Hardly we will measure the temperature up to 50 centimeters in the most soils. Most soils will go up to 50 centimeters. Temperature of the every 10 meters in the soil is nearly consisting of moist soils. Dropping and is about the mean annual temperature of the above soil. Mostly if we measure, this line is very important. The temperature at the depth of 10 meters in the soil is nearly constant in most of the soils in tropical conditions and is about the same of the annual temperature. So this will give the annual temperature condition. For about 10 centimeters, if you measure means it will give the annual temperature. So mean annual temperature and soil temperature is slight in the tropical regions. Mostly in tropical regions, the change of mean annual temperature was very less. This is what introduction about the temperature. So what are the different possibilities of temperature, sir? These are the different possibilities. Remember, students, you will get one question from this thing also. What are those words? Frigilic, cryic, and frigid, mesic, thermic, and hyperthermic. What are those? First of all, utter. You try to spell out these words. Frigilic, cryic, and frigid, mesic, thermic, and hyperthermic. Frigid and cryic will have the same moisturism, students. Same mean annual temperature will be there. But frigid will be somewhat warmer in summers. In summer, it will show some slight variations, not that much variation. So very first, frigilic, it will be less than 0 degrees Celsius. If you want to see in Fahrenheit, mostly 32 degrees Celsius. Cryic and frigid, students, mostly in Celsius, it will be 0 to 8. In Fahrenheit, 30 to 47 degrees. In Mesic, it is around 8 to 15 degrees. That we have to convert in Fahrenheit degrees means 47 to 59. Please note down all these values. Thermic means 15 to 22. In Fahrenheit is 59 to 72. Hyperthermic means more than 22. It is more than 72 here in Fahrenheit. So these are the different moisture. These are the different temperature regimes. So these temperature regimes will play a major role in soil weathering process. What are the different crops we can grow, and it all these are completely depend upon how much moisture are based on moisture availability. Also, this will be varies from region. Sometimes the frigilic may go to the mesic may come to the frigilic. So that's completely depend upon the precipitation, that means rainfall, etc. All this we have taken. So regarding the soil temperature, this is any doubts regarding the soil temperature is very simple, students. Nothing is to explain here. Any doubts? In physics, you will learn many things about soil temperature. It is a separate chapter. Any doubts regarding soil temperature? Hope no doubt, sir. I may expect same dialogue. Anyway, thank you. What is the importance? What is the importance, students? As I said, it influences the weathering in the soils. Soil in frozen or biological activities and chemical activity. Sometimes this temperature also will play major role in by the controlling the biological activity and chemical activity. And also during soil survey, the temperature of the soils are recorded as one of the property both in soil genesis and classification. As I said, we use this temperature both in classification and genesis of the soil. So mostly soil temperatures are based on criteria. We take the criteria, which criteria we use? Mostly we use whatever we have discussed in previous that are completely taken from the USDA soil taxonomy classifications. Mostly this was included in this US soil temperature classifications or soil temperature regime was being collected during the USDA soil classification. This is regarding this class, and this is the overall view, students. This is when you go for down or down, the temperature will be reduced. Hyperthermic, thermic, mesic, frigid, cryic, and frigilic. Hence, if you go very down, this for just put an arrow and write it down like this. Okay, students. At the same time, soil moisturism. If you go down and down, that means acidic, very dry, xeric, acidic, acidic, and aquic. Aquic very completely submerged. Here you can see some sort of light moisture will be there. Here you can see intermediate between these two. Xeric. Sometimes it will be summer, in winter it will be very water, summer will be no water. Acidic, completely dry. We cannot expect any crops here. Here also the temperature is very hot, like that. While going down, you will see very small temperatures will be reduced. So that's all for the today's class. Thank you, students. Thank you for your patience. And you can get this class on YouTube after the completion of this class. Thank you, students. If you have any doubts, you can ask now.